Hello everyone. Today we are going to start the last room of the Beauty and the Beast project. Now I thought about doing Grandpa Munster, but I just didn't have everything together for him. So let's just start this, and I'm going to spin it around so we can kind of remind ourselves where we are with this project. This is the stained glass window in the castle that you see at the end of the movie. Here we are in Gaston's Tavern. Now we've got a new little friend here. This is Sven from Frozen, and this was my niece's little Lego piece. I think it's a Lego. I just found that she was going through some of her toys and getting rid of some stuff. And I thought, well, I know exactly where this will go. So Gaston's going to have a new addition to his little tavern here. I'll work on him later. I think we all kind of know what's going to happen to poor little Sven. But I kind of also like that that's going to be another little Easter egg for the project because over there we've got Jolly, who is Esmeralda's goat. We got the little hidden Mickey Mouse head in this project. Of course, me being Gaston, I guess, is sort of an Easter egg. Sven will be an Easter egg. And then this side over here is the forbidden west wing where the beast kept his rose. And then back around, we again will have the ballroom. And I can't remember if I showed these or not. Let me pull these out here and show you who I got. Now, these are exactly the same size, the same scale of doll that I use in all my projects. And up here, I've got a loose Gaston. Of course, I know we've all seen him through these videos. I've used him several times. And then I've got a pack here that's never been opened. And my friend bought me these, got these off eBay, paid quite a bit for those. If you look these up on eBay, they're not very cheap. And I kind of can't bring myself to opening this box. But this is what was going to be the characters for the project. And for two reasons. I just kind of hate to open them. They're just so perfectly in their little box. And then again, we paid so much for them, or she did, that I just kind of hate taking them out. And I'm a little bit of me is kind of wanting to just get some nude dolls and then dressing them in my own homemade outfits, like I do all my characters. I'm kind of wanting to make my own characters, and then I'm kind of wanting to just take these out and use them, but I don't really know. And then a bigger part of me is just I don't care if there's dolls in here or not. It don't really need characters in it, but that's just something that's been on my mind. I'm not really sure if I'm going to do this or make my own or just not have any at all. So that's just something I'm thinking about. And I've got a little something to tell right now because you're all going to think I'm completely crazy and you're all going to say, okay, he's definitely lost it at this point. But I am home alone and I am hearing noises in my house that sounds like people are opening and shutting the back door. And I went and checked that just a minute ago and no one was around. I don't know what I'm hearing, but it's completely freaking me out. I mean, if something was actually here, my dog would be barking, but I don't know what this noise is. Every time I think I hear the door open, I'm thinking, oh, that's probably like my dad coming in or something, but it ain't even time for him to be off work, so he wouldn't be coming by. So, and then I just heard another noise. But anyway, I'm totally crazy, but I keep hearing these noises and it's tripping me out. But anyway, I'm trying to get my mind focused on what I'm trying to do here. All right, so with the ghost or whatever this is doing their thing, which I don't actually believe in ghost, but whatever's going on in there, I've got to try to quit jumping every time I hear it because it's just I keep thinking, oh, let me go see who it is, and then again, there's nobody there. But so this is the top, and there's going to be something that's going to go up here at some point. But to kind of hide this foam board, just that plain boring foam board, I don't want to just paint it or anything because I just feel like that'll be kind of lazy looking. So I've got this really pretty fancy wrapping paper left over from Christmas, and I just think this will look really nice to just cut a piece and put on the top. And I'm trying to get it. See, it's really shiny and gold, and it's a really thick quality wrapping paper. So I just think that's going to give a pretty top to the project. And then let me back it up here and kind of line it up. See, something like that. I think that's going to look really nice. And then there's also going to be a trim that's going to go around the top also later. But this will just be a pretty finisher for the top of it. And then I'm going to flip it upside down here in a minute. And then I've got these little ceiling tiles. These are actual tiles that you can use in like home improvement projects, and they're actually made out of foam. And I'm guessing you can buy these at like hardware stores like Lowe's or Home Depot or someplace. I don't really know where you buy this because I got this at an estate sale. But I'm pretty sure you can get it off the internet and stuff. But it's almost like a peel and stick tile. Maybe it's for a backsplash in a bathroom or a kitchen. But I thought this would be the perfect ceiling tile for the top over here. So I'm going to pick which one I like the best, and that's what I'm going to stick on there. Because I just thought that looks so perfect for what I'm needing it for. So let me flip it upside down and we'll kind of figure out what we're doing. All right, so here is the ceiling. I've got the whole project on its top side, like upside down right at the moment. And I'm going to decide which one of these that I like the best. Now, the ceiling that we are making is close to the wall. Like in the movie, it's very well known that the ceiling in the ballroom is painted with a sky and all these little baby angel cherub things, and it's really pretty and really nice. But that's way out here in the middle of the room, and we're not doing the middle of the room. So around the edge of the ceiling, it's just like regular tile, like some fancy decorative thing. So we're not going to do the sky with the babies. And there is a gnat flying around, which I'd normally freak out and get so mad about that. So if you see the gnat, it's just going to have to fly around. I'm not fighting it right now. But anyway, this design looks way too big for the scale. This one's okay. I don't really like this one because these little dots look like bubbles, and it makes me think of Ariel, like Little Mermaid vibes, and these little pieces here almost look like seashells. So I don't really like that one the best either. I'm kind of liking this one, or if you unfold it, I kind of like this one. This looks kind of like pearls or something, and it's okay. That kind of looks like seashells also, and I'm getting like Little Mermaid vibes off of that. But I'm liking that one, and I kind of like this one. This one's pretty sweet. That looks kind of like Tiana. It looks like a lily pad flower. So I may be thinking too much in on all this because most people probably wouldn't think that about all these, but it is doing that to me. But I think I'm going to go with this one. And I also like that there are two of them, and it's going to take probably two of them to get the job done. So I'm going to cut these out. I'm going to have to actually cut them and get those out real quick. And this one kind of looks, this one's kind of nice, but I like how this one's got more going on, and I like it. All right, so I've got that cut out, and I'm just going to glue it down. And I think this paper is going to peel off, but even if it does, yeah, it's going to peel off, and it's going to be sticky. It's pretty sticky, but I kind of don't trust it. I'm still going to, wait a minute. Oh gosh, it's really sticky. All right, I better wait. I'm going to stick it down, but I still want to put some glue on it, so I'm going to do that. Okay, so I got some glue on there, and I don't even care if it's like perfectly perfect. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it there and stick it down. So that looks pretty good. And now I've got to do the complicated part of like cutting out this weird shape over here. So I'm going to, oh man, I hope there's enough to get both parts. Oh man, I don't know. I gotta do this right the first way, or the first time, because if I mess this up, I'm not gonna have another piece to go in here. So I gotta make sure I can get both parts out of this. So I think I'm gonna grab some paper and make like a template of that shape and then cut it from there to make sure I'm not gonna mess this up. So this is the little template that I did, and I just traced it kind of. So that's like the perfect little fit to go down in there. And I would recommend doing this before you cut stuff, just so you don't, like I said, mess up your only piece that you need. Now the way I got that perfect shape is I just laid this paper, let's see, just kind of lay it flat against the back. And then what did I do? I just kind of found the side here, and I laid my little ruler down there against that little tile there that's already down there, and I marked it. And then over here on the side, I just kind of made a crease like that, and you can even fold it down if you need to make it just perfectly where you need it. And then along the front, just kind of crease it there. So always take a piece of paper and make you a little template, because it's pretty easy when you just lay it in there and you press it and fold it and crease it where it needs to be cut. And then again, I need to go ahead and mark this so I can know right where to cut it. And I'm just gonna mark that. And then that should be a pretty accurate little thing. So let me cut that out, and then I'll see how well that fits. All right, let's see if it lays in there nice. And it's a little bit big actually, but that's okay. I'd rather it be too big than too small, because you can always cut it down more. I think the only place it's too big is back here. It's kind of doing something weird, but it's almost a perfect fit. So I'm gonna go ahead and let's push this back a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna take my two little templates and make sure, I need to make sure that I'm gonna have the right, I gotta think about, okay, let me see. I want this side butting up against that side, so I gotta make sure that this goes like that. So that goes under here. I'm just gonna trace that onto there. Oh wait, one more thing. I need to make sure that this, now I'm confused which piece. Yeah, that went over there. So I'm doing it right. Okay, I just didn't want to mix up the two pieces, because this side's a bit different than this side, where I didn't get that one perfectly in the middle. But let me make sure this will work too. Yeah, we can get, oh my gosh, look how that meets. Oh man, that is like, oh my gosh, look how like perfectly that lines up. That almost, look at that. Oh, it's almost like if it had been any bigger, it wouldn't have been able to got it in there. But oh wow, that's really cutting it close. I've got to get it perfect so that, you know, it's not, you know, messing it up. Now let's see how they work. And I am so lost at, like, I think that one goes there, and hopefully that one goes there. I think I need to just trim it down a bit. It looks weird. It looks okay. Who's ever going to look at the top anyway? I think it's pretty cute. I just need to kind of, is this definitely the one that goes there though? I don't know. Yeah, it has to be. That one don't work, and maybe it was that one. That one looks kind of better. I like that better. That must be the one that was supposed to go there. All right, so that looks okay. And once I paint it, I think it'll look pretty cool. I mean, it's not like, it's better than, you know, plain flat foam board. So that's going to look pretty good. This one's a little yellowed compared to this. This is wider than this one. It may not show up on camera, but again, it's going to get painted. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these down, and then we'll figure out what color they need to be painted. All right, so what I did off camera without y'all was I went over the ceiling with just like a beige color, and then I'm gonna let that dry and then go over that with gold. Just kind of dry brush a little bit of gold over that because it looks like a lot of the stuff in the ballroom is gold. So that's what I've got going on now. Once that's done, I'm gonna flip it over and paint the wall a blue color to look like the outside night sky. And then we're going to cut out this fancy little window that I've got drawn out. I've been sitting in here just measuring this little thing out, working my little butt off trying to get a window done. And I wish, this is where I wished I had like a laser cutter and I could have this done really quick, but I don't. So I'm going to have to go in here and cut out each one of these little squares, these little rectangles until I get that done. I feel like that's going to take forever, so I dread it, but I got to get it done. Um, and then I'm not sure how I feel about this up here. I might rework that a little bit. But anyway, that's what I'm going to do. Start getting this cut out. Um, and then again, the blue for the sky. It's just a pretty kind of a dark blue, not too dark. It's just kind of just a regular blue. So I've got this color here. I'm going to use it straight up, but I think I'm going to mix in a tiny little bit of this color shifting purple. I mixed up a little bit to test it, and it made just a really pretty blue. And that little shimmery color shifting formula that's in this gave it a really shimmery, pretty look. So that's the two colors I'll mix to get the blue color for the sky. And then, of course, I'm going to use some white paint on a toothbrush, just an old toothbrush, and just kind of flick on some white specks to look like stars. But of course, I'll do this where you can watch me do it. But I'm just kind of telling you my plans. But right now, I'm just waiting on that ceiling to dry so I can do the gold over top of that. All right, so we're still waiting on that to dry, but y'all want to see a real piece of art? Oh, wow, look how amazing this has turned out. I mean, it took a little over 30 minutes. It was like right at 5 o'clock, and it was like almost 5:40 maybe. That's how long it took me to cut this out, and it is so good. I've got to brag about it a little bit. I mean, oh man, look at it. It's like 3D printer or laser cutter. It's like I'm too good for you. I don't even need you. But actually, if I was doing several of these, I would be wanting that laser cutter. But holy moly, that looks amazing. I'm just so, as I was doing this, I thought, oh my gosh, am I really doing this? I can't get over how well that came out. And you know what really helped was having a brand new sharp blade. When you're doing stuff like this, you want the newest, sharpest blade you can get. That made this job so easy, and that's why it went so quick, and that's why it looks so, so good. I am really, really pleased with how well that has turned out. I think the ceiling is dry enough to put that gold on it. So I'm going to do that, and then let's get it flipped over so we can finally start getting this thing put in place, because I'm in love with this. I'm so excited about it. Okay, so I finally got the gold on there, and I'm going to do something that y'all are going to fuss at me for, but I'm going to spray Mod Podge this, and I'm not going to take it outside. I'm just going to do it in here real quick, and then I'm going to run like heck and get out of the room, because I'm sure this is going to be really like going all over the air. But okay, yep. Ugh, gross. Whew. Okay, now I'm going to get out of here and let that air out a little bit. All right, so now that that happened, the air has cleared. Now let's bump up here and check it out. I mean, looking at that, it looks so good. I mean, that totally looks like what that castle would have for a ceiling. That looks better. For some reason, I think it looks better flipped back up the way it goes than how it was looking a second ago. I guess, I don't know, I just love it. I love that so much, and that's not even the right gold color I was wanting to go with. That's the only gold I could find. It's got a little bit of an orangey hint in it, but it's cute. I like it. So now let's get onto the wall. Where'd my little window go? Oh yeah, here it is. Now that's gonna go, let me get the camera back a bit. Okay, so there's the window, and I'm kind of thinking that I kind of like it instead of flat like that. I'm kind of liking it out a little bit, so I'm going to try to think of a way to get it out like this, because I kind of like the dimension it's got instead of just flat. So I'm going to go ahead and paint the wall with that blue color and get that done so that we can install the window. Okay, so we are here. There is our night sky. That is that blue. And then I did swish a little black in there around the edges. Now, if you can sort of tell, there's like little squares on that foam board, and you can actually kind of see those little squares. I'm going to try to paint it again. Hopefully another layer of paint will kind of hide that a little bit better. And what's weird is, like, while the paint is wet, you notice those squares, and it seems like as it dries more, you don't notice them. I don't know why that is, but that's just how it is. But I'm still going to go over it with another coat. And then I just want to point out this little candle. This is a, oh gosh, what's it called? Oh yeah, Goose Creek candle. This is a paid advertisement for them. No, it's not really. But Goose Creek candle, I got this little ad on Facebook, and this cute little candle. It's called France, and I thought, oh my gosh, it's so perfect for my Beauty and the Beast project. Of course, I'm really into France at the moment, because of course, Beauty and the Beast is a French story, and it kind of smells good. It's like a chocolatey, bready smell. It's really weird, but it's so weird, but it's so good. It's like so good in a really weird way. But anyway, it popped up on a sale ad for like $6, and I thought I'm absolutely getting it. Um, but I'm just, oh yeah, I better watch the top of my project. That flame's going to be baking what I've got sitting up here. All right, so let me grab the window and see what we've done here. So here is the window. I put some little strips of foam board there, as you can see, and I've painted those black so that if you kind of see them while looking through there like that, they'll be black and you won't really notice them. But look how amazing that looks. And I want to point something out. This gold paint that I'm using, I have been looking, I'm going to post a picture here. I have been looking at this picture, and if you look at the color, it's like a golden light, like a, I don't know how to explain it, like a light colored gold, like a yellowy gold. But then the paint that I've used is more of an orangey color. So when you like look at this picture, the gold decorations around more of the top of the wall and the windows and things, it is more of an orangey color. So I don't know, it just depends on the picture you're looking at, but when you're watching the movie, some of the decorations in the room are an orangey color and the others are a little more yellowy gold. So that paint color is just so perfect, and even though I didn't want it being an orangey color, after I looked at more pictures, I noticed, well, it is sort of an orangey gold, so it ended up being like a happy accident. So anyways, I am going to let that blue dry. It's got to be dry before I put another layer on it, or else it's just going to lift the paint off of the foam board. So I've got to let it dry, paint it one more time, and then we'll do the little splatter of the white to make it look like the stars. All right, so I put another coat of blue on there, and I am ready to do the stars, and I'm kind of nervous because I've never really done it before, and I don't know how well it's going to splatter. It could make a bunch of big splatters or a bunch of tiny splatters, or they could start to run. I don't know how this is going to go, but I guess if we mess up, we could just start over and paint it again. But I've got my toothbrush here, and I've got a little bit of paint. Let me just shake this up a little bit. All right, well, actually, I'm going to take my shirt off. I mean, keep it together, ladies. I mean, I know, but I don't want to get paint on this shirt. I'm actually wearing a brand new shirt, so don't want to I don't know how like splattery this is gonna be. Okay, so let's here we go. All bare chested, Harry Gaston chested. Let me see. Oh my gosh, I'm just kind of nervous. I don't want to. Oh, I'm just like, okay. I just don't want to mess up and have to redo it. Let's see. Oh, that's. Oh no. I guess that's okay. It ain't getting as many big splatters as I kind of thought it would, but I kind of like these tiny little. Oh, I kind of like that. I don't know how well that's showing up, but of course I'll show this better here in just a minute. Oh, that's kind of pretty. Okay, I don't want to overdo it, but I want it to look. Okay, now there's one little thing I want to do. Like I see one kind of big one. I'm going to kind of drag that out and make it like that. Kind of like a little star. See, that's super cute. Now I'm going to go up here and do that same thing because when I was looking at the pictures, I noticed it did that. Something kind of like that. Now I kind of want more. I love how that looks, but I want to get one right around in there. So let me just go ahead. I'm just going to freestyle one or two right in here. I don't even think that one's going to be seen once that window's in there. All right, so I'm going to go in here. And that one's not as cute. That looks weird, but it's okay. I'm not really at a very good angle. That one looks okay. Yeah, that's pretty cute. I'm going to do a few of those, and I may actually go back in. Let me do a little bit more of this. I don't think it's too heavy, so I'm going to do a little bit more. Whoa, something just flicked right off of there. I think there's a piece of dry paint in it. All right, I think that looks pretty good. I mean, I'm not as scared of that as I was. All right, looks pretty sweet. Now let's make a few more of those bigger ones. I think that's cute because if you look back at the picture, you'll see that. Okay, you know what I was just thinking? If I hold the window up, I can kind of tell more where those need to go. Oh, that's so cute. I don't know. I think that's enough. I don't want to overdo it. For some reason, I just don't want that to be super busy back in there. I kind of like it. I think that looks pretty awesome. And now I'm going to take the window and glue it in place and see what else needs to be done today. All right, so here is the window. I put some glue on there, and I'm just going to kind of eyeball it in the middle and then push it on there. That looks so good. I'm so excited about that. And you can sort of see the shadow of the window on the blue sky, but oh well. Oh gosh, I didn't clean my paintbrush. I'm gonna have to run do that real quick. But I think that looks pretty good. Now I'm gonna have to figure out something to go here and at the top, and the bottom will be easy. The bottom will get trimmed out, but you got this weird little space here that I'm gonna have to fill in. But I do love the window being out again and not flat to the wall because it looks just way more interesting this way. So this is looking so good. I am so pleased with it. And from here out, I'm just going to kind of wing it and just kind of design it how I want it. I'm not going to copy the movie 100%. I'm just going to take little elements from the scene and kind of put things in here. And with this weird dip in there, like it's where it's not flat against that back wall. I should have made that gold piece fill that whole blue square so it would be an even wall. If you know what I'm saying, so that one part ain't just raised out, because now you've got that um, weirdness going on where it's got the little window there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this little tube that was in that gold uh, wrapping paper. And if I cut this perfectly in the middle, it'll give me two columns. And I'm going to do columns on each side of the window, just like I did over here. Do something sort of like that, because there are columns in the ballroom all around the room. They've got them. So this, I mean, it's just like it's meant to be, because I measured it out and I thought this piece would be long enough, and then I thought the other piece would be too short, but it's exactly perfect. Like I said, if I cut it down the middle, it'll give me two perfect columns to go on each side of that window. So I'm going to get that cut and just glue them in place, and then that may be all we get done today. So let me just see. All right, so I went down and I cut this, and I hope that one fits really good. I hope this other one will fit as good. Oh, look at that. It's kind of a, it's not like a tight fit, but it's a snug, whoops, it's a snug fit. So, oh my gosh, everything's just falling off. All right, that, oh my gosh, that looks so good. Oh man, I am so excited. So that just kind of capped off that end. So I don't really have to worry about that weird piece sticking out far, and I can just paint back in there whatever color I decide to paint the walls. I think that looks amazing. I do have to fill this gap up here, but that won't be hard. I can still just put a big wide piece of trim up there to hide that gap where I didn't take that all the way up to the ceiling, but that's not a problem at all. I've been a little stressed with this room. I don't know why. I have, in my mind, I'm thinking we have to get this done in this episode. I don't have to get this done in this episode, but it don't seem like I've done that much. I mean, all I've done is cut out a window and paint a wall and cut a tube in half, but it has taken me all day to do that because I've just been sort of slowly going at it. I've not really been rushing it. But I'm so glad I took my time with that window because I got it cut out so good. Everything's looking so good, so I'm just so happy. But I feel like I'm just going to stop it here today. Oh yeah, and we did the ceiling. So see, I've done more than I thought. But I think we're at a really good start with this room. I think the rest of it's going to go pretty easy because we just got to paint this wall and figure out what's going on the floor. And I'm glad I just said that because I think it'll be easy to cover the floor before I glue these in. So I'm going to pull those out so I don't get too ahead of myself. And anyways, we'll maybe finish up in the next video. I don't know. It just depends on how fancy we get with this. But anyway, I hope you all have enjoyed this episode. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. And I'll see y'all in the next one.